Hello and welcome back to Mary Makes Studio. I'm Mary. Today's album that I'm going to be showing, I will be listing in my Etsy shop. It is an 8.5 by 8.5 inch square album, and you can see the side here with the laces and the dangles. It has a 1.5 inch spine. There are 5 signatures, and it is a sewn-in binding. And there are 142 pages in this journal. I'm sorry, I hope that was not completely out of frame. But there's the binding, and this is what the spine looks like. The back is plain with just some decorative paper on it. And then the front cover. This is a mold from Stamperia. It's from the calligraphy collection, I believe. And then I've inserted a couple of tags in these pockets. This collection is Hello Beauty by Craft-A-Clock, and I've used it throughout the album. And then there's other touches, like these are not from that collection, but they seem to go pretty well. I love this little tag because when you open the door, there's a butterfly, and I just thought that was adorable. The back of it is plain so that you can write anything you want to on it. This is an altered time card, and these are rub-ons, lace, ribbon, and a die cut, just some fun stuff. I stenciled the back so that you can also write on it and journal. Or you could stick a picture on there and journal about your picture. Down here we have hope, do not be afraid, and enjoy the journey. And when I made this album, I've used a piece of wallpaper, I've used cardstock, coffee dyed copy paper, scrapbook paper, which would be the Hello Beauty collection, new vintage and antique book pages, and I've also used some new and vintage lace, rice papers, and embossed papers that I embossed myself. So we open it up, and I covered up part of the binding here with a piece of lace, just to make it a little frilly and pretty. This is one of the trims that I put on the side. You open it up. This is a rice paper from Stamperia. This is a vintage, this one's vintage, book page about children's books. And I loved these images here. This is from a printable by Victoria Designs. And this is also her printable, and I just went in with my computer and put lines on it. A little ticket from the Hello Beauty collection. This is a luxury linen paper. Actually, this one's not linen. It's just a luxury paper from Crafter's Companion, I believe. The embossing was done with an embossing folder by Lisa Holton, and it was called Camellia Cluster. This is a coffee dyed paper that I used I made it using stencils. This particular stencil is from Sunflower Art by Stamperia. This is one of the antique book pages. It is in German, so I have no idea what it's saying. I hope it's not dirty. But it's got some interesting images in it. And then every signature will have one of these flower book pages. And there you can see the center of the signature where I sewed it in. And you can see here it's a little bit torn up here, but the paper is securely in this binding. I have triple checked it to make sure. This is a paper from the Hello Beauty collection. This is a vintage eyelet lace. Not lace, it's fabric. Eyelet fabric. Here's a little dangle I attached with a bulb pin. This is another one of the coffee dyed papers. I put a little cluster up there. This is more of the Victoria Designs paper. And then here I used the coffee dyed paper with stencils. I used it to make a pocket. And this journal does have Christian ephemera in it. So I want you to be aware of that so that you would know, because I am going to be selling this journal. It will be listed on my Etsy page, and the link will be in the description box. This tag I made using a Tim Holtz stamp on both sides. And I used some alcohol inks. And I also used the Distress sprays to give it the gold effect that it has. This is a tag from the Hello Beauty collection and a little slip of paper. These are blank on the back so that you can journal on them, or you can put tiny pictures. And then this is a postcard that has a Bible verse on it. And the back is left plain for you to do any journaling, memory keeping you want to do. Goodness, there's a big shadow. I'm filming at night, and I don't usually do that. So it's during the day, and I have plenty of light, so there's no shadows. It's kind of strange. This is a vintage, I'm sorry, that is a total lie. This is not vintage. This is brand new. I got this at Spectrum Art Creations, and if you've watched my channel, my videos, you know that that's my favorite craft store. It's where I go for just about everything. I don't know where I got this trim. I have no clue. And I think I got these from Tipperology, but I could be wrong about that. Here's another embossed paper. This is another one of the Lisa Horton embossing folders. These pockets are just glued onto a old calendar page. I think this was from 2018. And the pockets and the ephemera are from the Hello Beauty collection. And each pocket has 3 pieces of ephemera. They are all blank on the back side so that you can journal on them or just use them to write notes, whatever you want to do with them. This one is an envelope, and I left it blank so that you can store your treasures in it. This is an Edith Holden book page. Some of you may recognize it. This is a rice paper from, let me see, I had it uncovered and then I covered it up. It is from the ITD collection, and it's called Beautiful Flowers Creative Set. And I got this through Spectrum Art Creations also. There's a little rub-on butterfly down here. More lace. I'm pretty sure this is new lace. I don't think it's vintage. That's from the Hello Beauty collection. This is vintage music sheet paper. I made this little tag several years ago. I used the Genevieve Designs template to make these flags, so I wanted to make sure I give her credit for her design work. Another one of the flower pages. This is plain coffee dyed paper that I dyed myself. It's copy paper pasted onto 110-pound cardstock. Then this page is from the Somerset catalog or magazine. They print designer papers in their magazine that we can use. And so I took it and I sent it through my embossing machine. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a really beautiful, I think it's foxgloves, to give it just some extra kick. This is a rub-on from Uniquely Creative, and it's about the definition for daydream. This is the other side of the Edith Holden page. This is a rub-on from All in Create. I absolutely love their rub-ons, and you can find all of them at Spectrum Art Creations. I'm sorry. This is more of the papers that I used to stencil and coffee dyed. There's some pink tinge to the page. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but I had been using alcohol inks for some other stenciling projects, jelly plate, and the pink did not come completely off of the stencil, so I didn't think anything about it, and I coffee dyed these papers, and this one has a definite pink tinge. There's one later in the book that is really pink, but I think it looks good with this album. Then we've got more of the beautiful Hello Beauty collection papers. And here we have a little green charm that I've just attached with another bulb clip. And we have more of the lace paper. Sorry, I can hear my mother talking in the hallway, and it distracted me. This is coffee dyed paper using a lace tablecloth, a plastic lace tablecloth. I'll get the words out eventually. This is a vintage mathematics book, and you can see here the glossary of all the, or the index of all the different types. But it had this beautiful page here with the gentlemen who are noted mathematicians. And if you're interested, you can read about the introduction to the mathematics, a little bit about Babylonia and Greece. This side has Hindus and Arabs, the Renaissance in Europe, modern mathematics, and mathematical education. So that's fascinating reading for you sometime. This is a cluster that I actually got from Madeline Diet Designs on Etsy. She makes beautiful, beautiful junk journals and ephemera. This is another one of these book pages from the flower book. This is a pocket from the Hello Beauty collection, and it's pasted onto a vintage book page. I have this, which is another altered time card, and the back is blank for you to write on. This is a precious little playing card that I got from Spectrum Art Creations. And this is from a Prima journal card set, a 4x6 journal card set. I do not have any idea what collection that was, so I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. The back is completely plain so that you can journal all over this card. And then on this page, this is a luxury linen paper from Crafter's Companion, a ticket that came with the Hello Beauty collection. And this is a embossing folder. I believe this one was from 49 in Market. I might be wrong on that, but I believe this was 49 in Market. And it's just gorgeous. You can see the lattice back here in the background and the flowers and the butterfly up here. More of my stencil coffee dyed paper. This paper, I have no idea where it came from. It's in my stash and I thought it would look good. Now here I had a little mishap with my sewing machine. So I took a stamp of stitching and I covered it up. So there are some tiny little perforations there, but it does not affect the stability of the page at all. And it just gives it a little extra interest here in the corner. This is where I did stitch the binding for this section. And then I mimicked the stitches on this side as well. Another paper from the collection of the Hello Beauty collection. On this one, I've used rub-ons from the 49 in Market Color Swatch Blossom collection that they had. And then this is the offcut of that paper from Somerset Magazine, and I made a pocket with it. This is just a plain, this is a card that came with the Hello Beauty collection, and on the back of it, it was pure white. I put a coffee dyed doily on it, and then some Distress Spritz. Actually, I don't think that is Distress Spritz. I think that's actually Distress Spray, because it doesn't have a shiny finish to it. This is another one of the playing cards from Spectrum Art Designs where I purchased it. I don't know where these came from. They're in my stash, so I thought I would add them. They both are blank on the backs so that you can journal to your heart's desire, or at least until the page is full. These are some more of the papers, the rice papers. These are from Stamperia. This is from the ITD Beautiful Flowers papers. And then I did a little bit more on this side. That is a Stamperia paper also. And then here's the other side of that math book page. This one is a stunning rice paper. You can see that it's like there's an image behind this image, but it's all one sheet of paper. And it's just absolutely stunning. And I've added a little flower charm to hang on there. Then on this page, we've got both of these are from the Hello Beauty collection. This lace, I think this is vintage lace. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's vintage lace. Then this is the page I was talking about that's definitely pink from when I stencil dyed the paper, or coffee dyed the papers with the stencil. And I just added this offcut from the piece over here. Nope, that's not it. Where is that piece? Here it is. It's an offcut from this page. I just added it across the bottom there to give it some interest. This is the sheet of wallpaper I mentioned, and because wallpaper has writing on the back, I used a piece of paper from the Hello Beauty collection to make a pocket so that you don't see the writing. And in it I have stuck a cute little paper clip that has a flower on it. I also have included a Coca-Cola invoice from October 28th, 1961. It had the 5 there, but it's 61 is what's written in. This is a vintage, or not vintage. I keep saying vintage. This one is new. This is a new card. Someone sent it to my mother, and it has a beautiful verse about our Jesus Christ being our friend. I also included a sheet of just lined paper that you can journal on. And this is from a scrapbook collection that I bought ages and ages and ages ago. I think it was a color box collection. But it's just a grid on one side and then it's white on the back. So you can do plenty of writing on these as well. I tried to give you a lot of space for writing in this one. And this journal is more decorated than the other ones I have listed so far, because I've had more time to work on it and add little details to it. So, and this is an album that has Christian ephemera in it, where my other albums have not to this point, but I will be making an effort to start including things in those for my faith as well. This is a book page. I got this in a swap with in a Facebook group, so I don't know where it came from or how old it is. It doesn't feel like it's vintage. I turned this side into a pocket with the stenciled paper. These are both Prima journaling cards. I believe this one is from the Apricot Beauty collection. I have no idea where this one is from. But they are both, this one has a very light map design. They are both light enough that you could easily journal on the back sides. Here's another little rub-on. And this one, it's very faint, but there is a pattern there from when I used the plastic tablecloth and I was coffee dyeing. This one is probably my favorite page. This is one of the best pages that I had come out when I did the stencil coffee dyeing. And I probably made 100, 150 pages that night, or that day. And this is truly one of the best. I had some that were complete failures. So if you try doing the stencil dyeing and it doesn't work, don't feel too bad. Just watch a YouTube video on it and you may figure out the problems. This is from a vintage children's toy catalog, I believe. And here it talks about outdoor games and playing cup and ball. The back side has a sleigh, and this one has a sleigh as well, except it calls it a cutter. I know it as a sleigh. In the South, that's what we call it. Flower page. This page is another one of the Lisa Horton embossing folders, and I put a little cluster. This is made up of ephemera from 49 in Market. And I added a pink bulb clip with a little bitty tiny charm that's green. I don't think it's glass. I don't think it is. I think it's plastic, but I could be wrong. This is vintage lace. This is another one of the beautiful rice papers from the, I think it's the Hello Beauty collection. It could be something. I'm pretty sure it's... No, it's not the Hello Beauty. It must be a Stamperia design. Then this is the other side of that book page I was telling you about. And these babies are so stinking cute. I don't usually put people in my albums. I tend to go with animals and flowers and things like that. But they were so cute. I couldn't help adding them. The flip side of that page has a goldfish, which has nothing to do with anything in this album. But what can you do, you know? So this page is the other half of that wallpaper sheet with more writing on it. I took some of my offcuts and just made a layer of pockets. There's actually 3 pockets here. There's one there. There's one there. and there's one here, and every pocket goes to the bottom of the page. So you notice that this card only shows that much in this pocket. When I put it in this one, you see a little more. When I put it in this one, you see even more. So that is set up that way. The Hello Beauty collection had these cute little file tab thingies. I don't know what to call them. Note card tabs. And they're just darling. The backs of them are the same design, but you could easily write on that and journal some. Or you can use it if you've got a file box, a note card box. You could use those in that. This is another one of the Christian items. I got this one from Spectrum Art Creations. It's Bible emergency numbers, and it has, when you're in sorrow, go to John 14. When you have a worry, go to Matthew 6, verses 19 through 34. And I thought these were absolutely cute. And, you know, sometimes when we get into a mood and we go to our journals to journal, this reminder will help us know where we can really find peace. This is the other side of that journaling paper. This is plain coffee dyed paper that I sent through my embossing machine. This is, I believe this is a Lisa Horton embossing folder. All the trims that you see that are like this, they are all new. More of the Hello Beauty paper. This is another cluster. And this one I know is a Lisa Horton design embossing folder. This is from an old kids spelling book. I love old kids spelling books. I was an English major, so that's why. This one is really interesting to me because the original binding was right across here. I don't know if you can see those holes right there. And the students apparently got bored in math and spelling, and they just started marking in the binding of their books. I don't know if you guys did that. I did when I was in school. Not a good habit to get into, but you know, we're kids. This is another coffee dyed paper with stencil. I added a little rose charm on this one. There's one charm for every signature of the book. This is from my favorite children's book, Danny and the Dinosaur. And I love sticking pages from this book in my journals because it just brings me joy. And this is the center of the signature. You can see where I sewed it in with my machine. And we're getting to the very end of the book because this is the last signature. This tag this side is created completely with about a quarter of a sheet of All in Create rub-ons. They're gorgeous. The back I left plain so that you would have, if you're like me, you write with a slant. So the lines really help me when I'm trying to journal. This is another one of the Christian postcards. And the flowers just go so beautifully with this paper collection. This card, or this pocket, is made from an altered time card, similar to the one on the front cover, with the lace, or the ribbon trim, the lace piece here, some rub-ons, a die cut, and a sticker. More of these stencil coffee dyed papers. I love this page from the flower book. This is the other half of the children's book. And this is another gorgeous rice paper. This one is from the ITD Beautiful Flowers Creative Pad, or Creative Set. And this lace is vintage. I got it from a friend's mother when her mother passed away. And then this is the back, and there's the other piece of lace that I've used to help secure the binding in place. And that's the end. This journal will be listed on my Etsy store, hopefully by Monday, which is, let me look at the calendar. What day is Monday? Whoops, I just knocked some stuff down. March 31st of 2025. So it should be listed in my Etsy shop sometime on that day. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the album. I am very proud of it. And I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.